Hi, I'm Ariel. You're watching She Wants the Diction, and this is going to be a video about why I am not a booktuber. So, I've been on Booktube for about 2 years now. I started my channel in February of 2018, and having been in the community for almost 2 years, I felt that it was time for me to maybe sit down and reflect a little and talk about like what I think of Booktube and being a booktuber. First of all, I've identified this channel as a Booktube channel in the past. I think I said this in my Booktube newbie tag or my Booktube real talk tag or something like that. But I've called myself a booktuber and used the Booktube hashtag and all that good stuff. And I just want to say that I do love this community. I've met a lot of great people here. It is great to have a base of people who are like here specifically to talk about books and writing and all those things that relate to literature. But the main problem that I've been having with calling myself a booktuber lately is what the purpose of the thing is. I think it was last month that I noticed a lot more people were pimping these Book of the Month boxes, and I noticed a lot more booktubers were starting to get sponsorships. People that I had previously followed and loved were starting to post more and more ads and affiliate links and sponsored posts and all these kind of things. And if you guys have watched my Booktube Real Talk tag, you'll know I don't really like sponsorships or ads in general or anything like that. So this was kind of like just jarring to me because these people I loved were suddenly kind of like selling out a little bit, and it really sucked. But then I sat there and I thought about it, and I'm like, that is made out to be the point of things in our community. I almost feel like the point of doing Booktube is to get big enough to where you can be sponsored or sent ARCs or books for free or just any kind of publisher's attention. Like, I honestly feel like that's the point and why a lot of people are doing Booktube. And once they reach that point or hit those numbers, like, they're gonna start doing these sponsorships. And I can't really be surprised or shocked or hurt when that happens, when it's kind of the goal of this community, isn't it? Like, that's not personally my goal. That's like not why I'm here. So like being a booktuber doesn't even make sense. Like, if that's not my goal, why am I here? In other words, like, why am I in this community if I don't want to be sponsored ever or work with publishers or anything like that? Like, why am I here? And I'm asking that more of like a rhetorical question. Like, I know why I'm here. I enjoy the creative process, and I enjoy being able to talk about books with people and having a place to like set down my opinions and like think and process things and discuss them. So like, I know why I'm here. Like, it's not a literal question, but why am I doing Booktube if my end goal is not really the same as what everyone else's seems to be or what the popular goal seems to be? And my hope for my channel is really that maybe just it can help someone, because obviously growing up I didn't have books by Black authors. I wasn't presented with these things in school. I wasn't exposed to them. I didn't see depictions of people who looked like me doing much of anything, let alone reading. So I really just hope also with my channel that just by existing I can make a difference, that like someone who feels marginalized and out of place, whether that's for their queer identity or their race or their like nerdy weird interests or their artistry or their creative side or whatever it may be, I just hope that they maybe find a place where they're comfortable with in my videos, or they feel more accepted, or they feel some kind of like kinship or something like that. So that's another reason that I'm doing it. So I have all these reasons that don't really relate to being sponsored that I'm doing it, but it's like calling yourself a booktuber, I feel like that kind of designates that like as your goal almost. And I'm not saying there's no booktubers that aren't, you know, just here to get sponsored or aren't about the books, but it seems to be in the minority, honestly. Also last month there was another big book convention, I think called BookNet Fest. I've never been to one of these like book events or book panels or conventions, and I don't think I ever will, to be honest with you. That's for several reasons. Financial. I don't make a whole lot of money. I don't feel like I could probably afford to travel or for the tickets to go to one of these events, and I don't know, even if I could afford it, that I would want to. I have a lot of issues, you know, with my anxiety. I have problems with crowds, and so I don't know if it would be an event that I would be comfortable going to, even if I did want to meet a lot of the book friends that I've made here in real life. I don't know if it's something I would like be able to do. So really my channel is like the end result for me. Like, the end result for me isn't going to one of these like book panels and meeting people. So there's kind of the feeling of I'm not really included, like I'm not a real booktuber because I haven't been to these events or checked all the boxes. Like, and that's another thing that kind of bothers me. I feel like identifying yourself with the word booktuber, there's kind of a specified, like, set way that things are already done here that's long been established before I was ever here. And it's the tag videos and the hauls and the review videos and the TBRs and the all these things that have already been made. Like, it's a preconceived set of things that it's like a preconceived formula of things that you need to do to be successful here, and so people understand how to interact with you. And it's like, I don't want to do these boring videos. Like, no offense, I've done them before, but it really chafes. Like, I don't enjoy that. I don't feel creative. I don't want to be one of those channels that's like, you start as one thing, which is talking about books, and you start going off all these other directions to things that your audience doesn't care about or people don't care about. Like, I don't want to be that channel. But I do think that I kind of want to maybe expand my content, and this is not only so I don't make boring videos, but also just so that I don't get bored. I love reading, I'll always read, but I don't always feel like making videos about what I've been reading, either because I can't articulate my thoughts or just like the moment for talking about it has already passed. And when I say expand my content, I don't mean I'm gonna suddenly turn into a channel that's all about cars or all about something out of left field. Like, I'm going to be making videos about things that I already kind of talk about. Like, I talk about books through the lens of being queer and being mixed and things like that. So what I'm going to be doing is making videos specifically on these topics. I'm kind of trying to expand that way so my videos aren't always just me being a talking head. I do feel like I'm gaining a little bit of traction as far as like subscribers, and you know, it's not all about the number of people that are watching you. It's like, it's really quality, not quantity, because all these people can watch you, but no one ever talks to you. Or like, I'm here to talk to people and to get honest recommendations about books and just people that are passionate about it as a hobby. Like, I don't want publishers or sponsorships interfering in that. And that's like why I would never personally do it. But I don't think the people doing the sponsorships or taking the sponsorships are bad people, or that they shouldn't do that just because I disagree with it. Like, I'm not throwing shade. They can do whatever they want. I just think that if I wanted to know what publishers want me to read, that I could walk into any bookstore, see any display, and like know what they wanted me to read. Like, this is supposed to be a place where we get individual, like authentic recommendations from an individual. And when you insert a publisher into that, like, it calls it into question. I feel like I want like firsthand recommendations from like real people that are just like existing in the world. Like, I don't want corporations infiltrating that and like sabotaging that. Yeah, there's just I just feel like the word booktuber has all these connotations to it that are not necessarily things that I want to do or things that I identify with. You know, I'm probably never gonna have a nice, pretty aesthetic or bookshelf. Like, I'm probably never gonna go to one of these book conventions. I know I'm never gonna have a sponsorship or anything like that. Like, I feel like I don't have the same goals as a lot of this community, and that's why I'm kind of saying this statement that even though I talk about books, I'm not a booktuber. I don't want to be a booktuber. I've even made a video on why I don't even want to be a YouTuber. My aspirations creatively have never been to make videos. I mean, I got the idea initially to do drunk book reviews. Fun fact, my channel was actually originally called Drunk Book Reviews. And the idea was just going to be, each episode was just going to be me getting super drunk and talking about a single book and just filming whatever happened. And that was going to be the concept for the entire channel. But then, like, due to my mental health, I kind of stopped drinking. And when I say stopped drinking, that kind of makes it sound like a bad thing, but it was definitely a good thing because my drinking was kind of getting out of control and was definitely an unhealthy coping mechanism. And I found, like, better things that helped me since then. So it's actually a good thing. But so then I had to change the entire like concept of my channel because I wasn't really drinking anymore or feeling the need to drink or the urge or anything like that. So that's kind of why my entire channel concept changed. But that was just kind of a one-off idea that I had. She Wants the Diction was going to be this whole separate Instagram account that I had started that was just one meaningful quote, like any quote that struck me out of a book that I read. I would take a picture of it, then I would post it in black and white on Instagram. And I didn't really know how Instagram worked, I just made the account. But then I got the idea to just change the name of my Booktube channel to that. So that's what I ended up doing, and that's where the name comes from. And now I get like so many compliments on it that I'm like, well, guess I better keep this name. Like, I even changed the name of my blog to that, and I've had my blog longer than I've had my YouTube channel, but my aspiration has always been to like write. I was writing a lot on my blog. Like, I've always wanted people to like read my writing. I never really thought that I would get an audience for my videos. And also, I've never really made a decision about what I wanted to do creatively. Like, I was in school for 2 years studying basically digital arts and graphic design, so like photography and stuff. But I've never really made a decision about like what kind of art I wanted to make. Like, I've never just done one single thing. Like, so I don't want this to be, oh, Ariel just makes videos. Like, I don't want to just make videos. Like, I have other aspirations as well, and they're all, most of them are all creative. So yeah, I don't want this channel to be like the only thing that I'm working on. But I feel like because I've been so consistent and posting videos for weekly for over a year now, like, I feel like I shouldn't like lose that traction, but at the same time I'm spending all my time working on my videos and reading rather than doing any of my other pursuits. So yeah, I don't really know what the conclusion to this is, other than I don't feel like I'm a booktuber. I feel like I'm probably gonna like stop calling myself that because I don't really identify with it, but this is still gonna be a channel that talks mainly about books. It's just gonna be all the other stuff thrown in. Hopefully that'll be a welcome change. I mean, nothing's really hardcore changing about my channel, but if you do notice some differences or some new things popping up, this is essentially why. Yeah, that's it. That's all I really want to say. It's just some thoughts on Booktube after almost 2 years of being here. Like, I feel like Booktube is already an establishment, and if you know me or have really watched any of my content, you know that I'm very anti-establishment, don't really appreciate capitalism infiltrating every corner of our society. I just want to keep this a place where it's just about being real and authentic and talking about what I want to talk about, and never have a publisher or advertiser or anything like that get in the way of the conversation. Like, they already have so much space and so much territory and so much of a platform in our world. Like, why the fuck would I give them my platform?